Kissing is an acceptable act of expressing love and affection, but it is advisable to perform it with some level of discretion because it is fraught with some inherent health hazards which most people do not know. During a passionate kiss, the earth seems to stop rotating and nothing else matters during the encounter. The last thing that could be on the minds of lovebirds at this time is that of communicable diseases that may be transmitted while kissing, especially intimate kisses that involve exchanging saliva. Data from the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control were used to find 8 diseases that are transmitted through saliva. They are itemized below. 1. Mononucleosis. It is popularly called the kissing disease, and it is caused by the Epstein-Barr virus, EBV, which thrives in fluids such as saliva and may be spread easily from an infected person's saliva when kissing. It is contagious. Infection-related symptoms last from 1 to 2 months. Symptoms are very similar to those of the flu and include a fever, sore throat, fatigue, muscle weakness, and swollen lymph glands. There is no treatment for mononucleosis, but staying hydrated, resting, and taking medication often helps. 2. Cytomegalovirus. The disease spreads through saliva as well as through blood, urine, semen, and breast milk. Cytomegalovirus, CMV, is a virus in the herpes family, and like all herpes viruses, it remains dormant in the body for long periods. Symptoms include fatigue, fever, muscle aches, and in more serious cases, pneumonia, encephalitis, seizures, and visual impairment. 3. Gum disease. Gum disease is also known as periodontitis and gingivitis, and although it is not spread through kissing, the bad bacteria that causes it can. To avoid gum disease, regular brushing and flossing can serve as a defense. 4. Herpes. Herpes simplex virus 1 is a virus responsible for the unsightly blistering on the lips and around the mouth when one has an active oral herpes infection. These lesions are commonly called cold sores or fever blisters, and not everyone understands that cold sores and fever blisters are synonymous with oral herpes. Once oral herpes is contracted, it stays with you forever. Oral herpes is transmitted through direct contact between an infected area and broken skin or a mucous membrane. Many people who are infected with oral herpes aren't even aware that they have the infection and may unknowingly pass it on to a partner while kissing. During an outbreak, symptoms usually last between 8 to 10 days on the average, and the cold sores heal on their own. If you want to prevent the spread of infection, you should abstain from kissing or other sexual acts if you or your partner has visible sores. 5. Meningitis. Meningitis is a serious disease that causes inflammation of the lining of the brain and spinal cord. This disease can spread from one person to another via respiratory secretions. A means by which the illness can be passed along to someone else is via the exchange of saliva while kissing. In 2017, there were over 1,000 deaths in Nigeria during the meningitis outbreak. Symptoms include fever, headache, stiff neck, nausea, sensitivity to light, and vomiting. This disease has no medication, but staying healthy with a strong immune system helps to get the better of it. 6. Mumps. Mumps affects the salivary glands and causes them to swell. It usually spreads via airborne droplets from the nose or throat of an infected person. Symptoms typically include fever, headache, muscle aches, fatigue, and loss of appetite. 7. Rubella, referred to as the German measles. Rubella is caused by a virus transmitted through an infected person's sneeze or cough. Symptoms include fever and rash and clear up in 2 to 3 days. The rubella vaccine can prevent this disease. 8. Influenza. Influenza is spread via droplets made when people with the flu cough, sneeze, or talk. Symptoms include fever, cough, sore throat, body aches, and fatigue. Most people recover on their own in less than 2 weeks. With the above highlights, it is hoped that people who hitherto were unaware of the problems mentioned above would henceforth take precautionary measures when necessary when kissing.